What's up, everybody? William John Ray back with another episode of Design and Invest. This is a cool segment. I'm just meeting Stephanie here. Say hi, Stephanie. What's your full name, Stephanie?
Stephanie Gutierrez with ADUGG Investments.
The woman when it comes to ADUs. My brother turned me on to her and said, hey, you two have to meet. I want you to show her our project in North Hollywood and just see where it goes. And so this is a real honest, like
organic.
Literally we just met.
Right.
And coordinated this just last week. So I want to pick her brain. I want to show her this product. I want to sort of develop more relationships within the ADU world because I've been doing it a long time and I know she has too, but
We never met.
Yeah, we haven't met yet. I don't really know a bunch of players in the field, so I want to just sort of start interviewing people and picking their brain and just sort of rapping about ADUs. And so that's where we are right now.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about your background with ADUs or even further back if you want. Yeah.
I've been in real estate for over 15 years. I've been in the management space, the HOA management space, the investment space. I also have a podcast and do a little bit of vlogging of the whole journey, right? I started with ADUs in 2017, kind of when things started taking off here in California. And then as things progressed and just got, a lot more ADU friendly in the state of California, I started advocating for it. I started doing ADU consulting. And at this point, I've helped many clients buy, build, and manage. And that's sort of my motto, is to help investors buy a property, analyze a property, do a feasibility, see what's feasible on the property, right? And then help them rent out the property, and then rinse and repeat the process and help them scale.
See, so we're gonna have a lot more to talk about than I thought.
Yeah,
because I'm similar, but in that I've been doing it basically since day one of ADUs, when it was super complicated and very you have to get C of O on the main structure before you can even start the ADU and blah, blah, blah. I would just build it for myself though. I'm a developer, flipper. In North Hollywood here, within, I would say 3 miles of where we're at right now, I've done at least 60 or 70 doors of new construction. I've done 100 rehabs. Like this is my hood. Like I grew up here. I grew up in Sun Valley, which is just down the way. North Hollywood, I have a real dialed in on the pulse of North Hollywood.
Having that hyper local knowledge, and you say you're raised here, born here, do all your business.
I do everything everywhere, but when you have an area like this and you put in your own money, this is my own money, this is my development.
Especially when it comes to construction and development. Anything else you could sort of outsource, and rely on other people and boots on the ground. But
like especially with like rent comps and projections, and when you're working on the performance,
hyper local. And a lot of the management I do is not just long term. I also do a lot of midterm, which is very hot right now.
I have an Airbnb company.
Yeah,
I have 40 doors that I manage Airbnb.
Well, we have for the long-term property management, we have over 700 properties that we manage in Orange County and also Redlands.
Are you a broker?
I'm not a broker yet.
Okay. Who do you hold that under?
True Door Property Management.
Okay.
So that's where I get most of my listings from, is from the portfolio.
Yeah.
And then I do have 8 units myself that I have as midterm. 2 of those are ADU. Nice. So that's kind of more in like South Bay area.
Awesome.
So yeah, I think
how did you start your career? What was your segue into real estate?
Honestly, it was a Craigslist job as a receptionist at a Century 21 office.
Okay.
And that's how I got started. And then
I love hearing origin stories. Like where did
it was the Century 21 office in Torrance. I was looking for a job. I think I was in the medical field at that time. 19, 20 years old. I started off really young, and I got a job as a receptionist, and then from there became the assistant to the broker's daughter, and then from there managed teams, and then from there I've had my own team, and real estate is a big part of my business to this day.
What I like about what you're doing is very similar to what I do, is that you first have the client's trust.
Right.
You can service them on multiple fronts.
In multiple ways.
So you build for them, you can design for them, you can help them with the whole process, and then you can help them rent it. So it's end to end. It's very similar to what I do.
Right? Because I think true freedom, it's not just 1 or 2 properties that's really going to create that flexibility for you, but multiple. And so it's
also, if you think about it too, the field that we chose doesn't really have a 401k type of atmosphere. Health insurance. We have to sort of plan on our future by having rental properties, having things like that in place. I preach that to everybody all the time too.
And that's where ADUs come into play, because ADUs really create flexibility no matter where you're at, whatever path of life. And I've talked about it in my podcast. You know, what I love about ADUs is it could be a rental to help you cash flow. It can be for a family member.
Grandma back
it can be for assisted living, right? It can be, I homeschool my son, so it can be a homeschool office. It can be an office space.
How old's your boy?
11.
Oh, I have a 10-year-old. He's turns 10 this weekend.
Yeah, Alex is 11. He'll be 12 in October. So
that's cool.
And he knows a lot about ADUs.
Yeah, I bring my kid involved too. Like he's in a lot of my vlogs.
He just joined a Tycoon Mastermind. I'll send you details on that. It's a mastermind for teens that really goes over the investing journey. All things investing. Yeah.
I love that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I give my kid, we flip stuff together too. So I'll take him to like thrift stores or flea markets or wherever I can to find like old stuff and be like, hey, look, let's look this up. Let's do a little research. Let's take it home. In our garage, we have like a little light booth and we just list stuff on eBay.
Nice.
I tell them whatever sells is yours, you know, but I want you to be part of the entire process.
Right.
You know, even with Pokemon cards, he loves Pokemon, but I want to make sure that when he collects Pokemon, that he's not just sort of buying them and just throwing them in a box. Be systematic about it. This is an investment. Like these cards will literally be worth 50 times what they are when you're in college.
The future.
So just take care of them and plan and complete the sets, you know, and treat it like a business.
Showing them how to be patient and have that business mindset.
My wife helps a lot with that too. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, she's really into it with them. So she's so good.
Yeah, I'm very hands-on with that mastermind. I really like it. They have a book club on all things investing. I mean, it's beautiful.
Let's try to drop a link to that. I didn't even know about that. I'm gonna look into it myself. But
yeah, I'll send you details on that.
Let me tell you about what we got going on here and why I wanted to bring you here and just sort of see where this goes. You know.
Right.
So we bought this property for $700,000. It was just what I loved. It was a corner lot. We knew I've done tons of ADUs. I knew exactly what our plan was. We were going to use SB9.
Okay.
And now you can do ADUs in the front yard. So we did exactly that.
Okay.
And so we took this property. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. We just renovated it, just a wham bam rental grade renovation. That took me 30 days to do that. And then we immediately Airbnb'd that while we're in plans for the rest of the stuff. This was our first time doing 4 units on a single family lot using SB9. So it was a little bit of a learning curve, but it was on our dime. And so now we've got this down, and my brother manufactures these units, the factory built.
And that's how I made it here.
Yeah,
thanks to.
And you're gonna love them. These are leading me into a whole other sort of segued market. Up until now, I've done ADUs for people for sure, renovate their house, this and that. But I've never been in an ADU business per se, you know, or consultant or anything. You know, it's just building for myself or for a couple other people. Now I'm going to turn it into an actual business and sling these units as well as garage conversions, like whatever it is that they want. It's easy for me. I've done so many to this point.
These are great models. I've seen other ones that are similar to it. Never your brother's, but he's always raved about it. And every time I talk to him, I'm like,
he's got several models too that he's working on. He's got one that's actual, just 2 of these, one on top of each other.
Okay.
Spiral staircase up one side, so that way
I think that's the one he showed me.
That's pretty gangster. Once that's done, it's
that.
gonna be like a game changer because you can smack that in anywhere. It stays under the height limits, and it you know, it's
just ready to go.
12
feet
to code by 33 feet. That's the unit. This version is 404 or 6 square feet, and then the other one is just double that. And it's the perfect 1-bedroom, and I'll show you that in a minute. But so what we did was we renovated the main house, and then we put plans in place. These are all state approved, so they can't tell you anything other than where it goes on the lot. Site plan, you submit that. We have really good expediters that take care of all that for us, that just know this product and know exactly SB9
how to get it streamlined.
How to get it streamlined, because it's still new. Not a lot of people are using SB9 like we are. There's 2 uses for SB9. There's the lot split, which takes forever and is very expensive. And then there's the duplex build. So we did this duplex. So we attached one of these units to the main house.
And I think that's important to note because the time frame for both processes is completely different.
It is. It takes over a year.
Exactly.
Lot split. And it's unless you live in a house that you have a giant backyard and you're carving it off and you got time, you want to sell that down the road or whatever, then don't even enter that if you're a developer, because money's too expensive right now. Hard money is extremely expensive. I mean, we're literally finishing up a refinance on this just because we thought we'd be sold by now. But it took forever. I'm like, look, we're bleeding on the.
And you were so smart about Airbnb it out, you know, to help offset costs.
Exactly. But then that only goes to a certain point.
Exactly. Now imagine if you weren't doing that.
So we're refinancing it, and we're going to keep it for a little bit. We're going to get the rent roll real tight on them all, and then sell it as just somebody who's buying money. You know, someone who's wants to write cap rate. It's
something stabilized in A-class
exactly. So that's what we're doing with this now. Before we were selling a vacant and sort of going that approach. now we're changing gears, and thankfully I come from a furniture background, so it's easy for me to stage and easy for me to
Oh, that's awesome.
to get them ready. So if somebody wants to do a furnish finder type strategy where they want it all furnished, I can easily do that. And 2 of the units are staged, the main house and this model unit.
Awesome.
So easier to rent. You can rent it for a premium too.
Right. And those will have very low vacancy rate, because right now people are paying for experience, they're paying for amenities, they're paying for essentials. I mean, if you have all of that, it'll be booked all year round.
Yeah. So thankfully now we don't have to do on future ones LID, rain barrels and stuff like that, which is always a pain in the butt. These are small enough where you don't need solar too. So that's a big plus. Awesome. We put the stack here for all of the electrical, ran it underground to the other units. This unit here is a front yard ADU. A lot of people
don't know that you can build in the front.
But they won't just allow you to do it if you have space in the back. So if you have space in the back, the plant checkers will be like, nope, dude, you're putting it in the back.
Right.
But if, like in this, we got 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. So there was no other place for it, and we really just maximized it. We turned a single family home into 4 units. And it's not just 4 units with all these covenants and crap that make it to where it's got to be owner occupied. This is 4 units. It's on title, duplex with 2 ADUs. That's how it sits on title, because under SB 9, attaching the structure, one of these units to the main structure makes it a duplex. And then by right, under the multifamily law, you could do 2 ADUs. So that's what we did.
Now up to 8 with SB 1211.
Yeah, exactly. But that's got to be multifamily.
But with SB 9, one of the things that they did that you just mentioned was the owner occupancy.
Yeah.
You needed that before, but they modified SB 9, and now you don't need it. So
yeah, and that's a big problem, because I was building them like crazy. I was converting every damn garage into a junior and plopping in an ADU in the back.
Right.
So I got a junior ADU and ADU in the back. I've done that everywhere, But the problem is when you go to sell that product, it comes with a covenant that says one of the units has to be owner occupied, whether the junior or the main house. And that sucks for somebody trying to buy money. A seasoned investor is not going to touch that.
Nobody's going to want to touch that. And if an investor wants to, let's say, MTR all 4 units, they can, because they technically have to live in one. So now with that's awesome.
Yeah, I heard that you could actually strip that covenant away now too. It's just a process. I haven't done it myself, but for past ones, or someone who's buying that product that already exists, just know there's a way to strip away that covenant.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Let's jump in.
Okay, let's check it out.
And we built decks on all the all these units. We built them within the height limits that we're allowed to without permits, and they're not affixed to the structure, so they're independent. Okay. But we're getting a little help right now. We're trying to get C of O, and but it's not. It's got to get the manager involved. Right. The junior inspectors are all assholes that are by the book, and they're okay.
That's like the real raw stuff.
Yeah.
That you have to deal with.
But then we put ficus around the property to really wall it in, so you have this private space. This unit has this entire space. I was thinking about putting a gate there after C of O, just to kind of really wall this in properly.
No, this is great. Yeah. And you're creating privacy for this tenant, which is very important. Like, places like SoCal, this is an amenity that people will pay a premium for. And just because you have a bit of patio space, which a lot of people don't put really thought into that.
Nope.
No thought whatsoever into the landscape or creating some sort of private enclosed patio for the tenants. I mean, they'll stay here longer, and retention is part of that long-term plan.
Yep.
Or even with midterms.
And we did a cool little area back here too. Put like a little fire pit, or just kind of like taking advantage of this weird corner, where how you get to the main unit. But everything has its own space. This basically is the yard for this unit. And everybody out here has a dog, so this is perfect for them to just kind of come hang out. I already opened this up.
Parking was also really good.
Parking's not terrible over here, so I wasn't that afraid. Some areas I'm very afraid to do this, because it's like North Hollywood is pretty good. Pretty good. You got this whole street right here you can park on. Unfortunately, all the homeless do that too, but that's another problem.
I mean, that's anywhere. But parking isn't really a big deal, but it is an amenity. So if you have easy parking spots, it's just an added plus to rent.
Cool part about this one is that the main house has a 2-car garage with an attached breezeway. So if you wanted to get super tricky, you can convert that too.
Wow.
But that's like
yeah, that's a little too high.
2-car garage for the house is not affecting the comps too much.
Got
I can still get for that main house about 4,500 in this area, 42 to 4,500.
Wow,
these we already got apps in hand. You know,
for this unit here, how much?
These ones 2,500.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these are how many square feet?
Just over 400. Yeah. So
yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. Check it out.
Oh,
and we staged it with IKEA furniture, so it's repeatable. So it's literally press and play. Like if you want everything that's in here, that client can have it.
Right.
Exactly like it sits. You know.
I love this.
And we have a mini split system. So it's 2 registers, but only 1 unit. And it sits. The new models sit up in here,
top.
And then all the appliances.
Oh, nice. I love this.
Yeah, full size appliances. You know, we're not using like little dinky small this and that.
Right.
This model doesn't have a dishwasher. The next one will have an 18-inch dishwasher.
Okay.
And it's going to be 2 feet bigger that way.
Which is also an added
and 1
amenity
foot bigger
because typically for this type of square footage, you don't really see the dishwasher.
Yeah.
What about the ceilings? Because that's the plus, right?
Yeah, ceilings are vaulted. The roof is a metal roof. All the windows are mill guard, so it's the finishes are really nice. We actually my brother manufactures these in Tijuana.
Okay.
And he brings the materials from here to there.
Nice.
So just to ensure that we're getting exactly what we want, they're not skimming.
Right.
And they're all state approved, inspected on site at the factory. They have all the right certifications and stuff. So it's just boom, boom, boom. These units can be manufactured in 60 to 90 days.
Okay.
And delivered in 90 days. So if you put an order in, you go through all the city stuff. By the time it's done, it'll probably take you 30 to 60 days at the city to get approval
like
for
this.
this. Because like I said, they're state approved, yes, but you still have to do underground plumbing and you have to do like sort of site placement and all of
right.
that with the city.
Yeah, it's just a couple.
Yeah, it's a couple steps. It's nothing crazy.
But it does. It may. I don't know how it looks in the video, but it's actually feels a lot bigger than what it is, right? And a lot of it has to do with the ceilings. These captain style windows really help bring a lot of natural light in here. So yeah, I really like the layout.
Yeah, the vaulted ceiling definitely helps it. For sure.
Oh my God, a lot. Especially for these smaller units. I always tell clients 400 to 600 square foot ADUs, you got to go 10 minimum.
Yeah.
10, 10 feet.
You have it, so take advantage of it. It's especially if
right.
it's on a single family home where you can go even higher. You know what I mean? If you
and the finishes, great for rental. I mean, you
rental,
want those.
They come exactly finished like this too. It just doesn't come with the appliances.
Right. Okay.
No appliances, AC's included, windows, doors, everything, cabinets, everything's included.
Yeah. That's awesome.
They're all outfitted.
But this is a great model. So are you keeping these appliances for?
Yeah, no, this unit will just be rented with these appliances. The other ones, I'm just going to put the basic, whatever's necessary. I think the stove and...
so this one will be a midterm?
No,
long-term?
We're going back and forth. I think we're just going to long-term them all, just to get a nice tight rent roll.
Right.
Airbnbs.
Right, because if you're going to sell it out.
Yeah, Airbnbs, they don't value them the same for when you go to get like underwriting for
no, they're
so it's stupid, but that's how it is.
I mean, unless you're working with the right appraiser who takes the income approach.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So I mean, and I have several properties that we've had for over a year, 2 years that are Airbnb. So we have the roll is tight, the records are all there, so you could really use that.
Right.
If
you wanted to.
Yeah, if you wanted to. Yeah.
But no, it makes sense to do the long-term rents and have it ready to go.
Yeah. So these, as far as the when these are set on the foundations, this is stick built. This is not like a lot of.
That's
these
another important
units.
thing.
That's very important.
Yeah, that's very important because a lot of people think, well, is this really considered traditional? Is this really going to add value to my property? It's really the exact same thing. It's
if you were to
built up to code.
Yeah, exactly. Even better.
Even better because
be.
it's scalable, right?
This was moved. Do you see cracks? Do you see any? Like, there's nothing. This was moved.
Right.
And it was intact the entire time. It was not only.
The only difference is how it's installed versus a traditional, right? But
yes and no. I mean, it's on foundations, but it is raised.
Right.
It's raised, and it's not a. I mean, they're affixed to all the posts and piers and stuff. There's
essentially it is the same
thing. It is. I mean, it's just the process of. But as far as underwriting goes, this property is an duplex with two ADUs.
Yeah. Corner lot.
Corner lock's
Definitely
very helpful.
something, yeah, very helpful. And part of the reason why is trenching, access. It's just the way that you would structure.
Also, you have separate entrances for the
right,
the
way
unit.
you would structure the
It's
entrances.
not very apartment feeling. That you have this entrance right here is for 2 units. The one on the side, the one in the front is just for the main house.
Nice.
And there's one in the back for the back unit, which has a nice big yard. So this space over here is more of like a communal space. I was thinking about putting like an umbrella table just so all the people can just come and like congregate.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. But again, I want to Airbnb all these if this were my property only.
That's what you would do.
I would Airbnb them all.
Right.
And I would get a big premium and just crank on these, you know.
Right.
But that's a different approach.
But
this one we're trying to sell this, you know. So,
right.
Yeah. But over here, this section here will be the trash corral. So for all of the units that have the trash.
Okay.
And then this unit here is the one that's attached, but really it's not attached. So here, that's the space that's between this unit and that unit, okay? And so the foundations, when we poured it, they kiss. But really they don't even have, they just have to be next to each other. And then in the permitting process, they call this one attached. But really it's not even attached,
right.
But it's helpful, you know? And so this is the master bedroom of the main structure. And we just went straight on.
This was originally what was here.
Yeah. The tricky part about this property that we didn't even know until we were about ready to install, and we were arranging the crane to be delivered and to coordinate. Like, oh, you can't do it. There's a flight tower right there, Burbank Airport.
Burbank
Airport is right there.
Right there.
You can literally see the flight tower, and so you need FAA approval to get like anything over 40 feet or 50 feet or whatever. You need a approval from the FAA. That takes like a year or something crazy. We're like,
what?
It could. They could just say no, or they could just say no too. You could try to just do it and ask for forgiveness and just do it quick and be done, but it would come with some big fines if we did get popped. So what we had to do is we had to devise there's some people that have that we met in this whole process that have these really wild units that they created. They're kind of like tractors that come underneath the unit, and they look like alligators. They have like these nose, and they go up, and they together in unison sync together, drive them in place, and then drop them on the foundation. So that way they don't ever have to be craned in.
Wow, that's good to know.
We had no idea like that we were going to hit that until like we're ready to install.
So you're there.
Cost us about 15 grand extra to do that because of real specialized machinery and people that do only that, you know.
But that's still worse not being able to do the project, right?
Oh yeah. We were getting it in somehow.
Right, somehow.
but I mean, we had to maneuver the hell. This was wild. We had some video too. We recorded the whole thing. It's a wild process because they had to come in, shimmy. This one is set in the back of the property this way. So look how much space. You can't just turn them in. It's not like a giant lot.
Right.
So we had to like just
very creative.
This one, the front one, we just backed in from the street. Like quite literally, we backed it in, and then we put a bunch of cribs, and then we took out the cribs slowly and brought it down.
And luckily, you had no power line.
No, it's not. Those weren't really the issue. Yeah.
But that's good. Because sometimes that's an issue too.
Yeah. And then so this unit has this deck, this sort of breezeway, and a little backyard. So it's super cute. This is a great unit.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, and it's very private. The neighbors had a tall fence. This is their garage. This we had to remediate this. Right here, there was a bee's nest in here for like 50 years. It was a giant bee's nest, and so we had to talk to them and we got rid of it the right way though. We didn't just kill the bees, you know. But it was
This
crazy.
is great. I really like how you guys put thought into the tenants.
Yeah, you have to have that. Otherwise, they're not rentable. Nobody wants to rent something that's just like slammed in the back with no sort of.
Those small yard spaces make such a huge difference.
So this. And so this one has their own. I think it's yeah. Okay. Yeah, its own private entrance. This yard is bitching right here. This one is great.
I like this one a lot. Oh yeah, this is massive. Yeah. Wow.
So this one I think we're asking 27. I think for this one.
Yeah.
26, 27.
Oh, you'll definitely get that.
We just had to extend the landing, it wasn't.
I'd probably use that additional space, maybe storage space, and
Could be good.
then
Just
sell it.
Pop a
to
little. That's a good idea.
2 to 3
Because nobody's
storages,
fucking parking.
and have someone pay an additional, I don't know, $50 a month for storage.
It's a good idea. Just put one of those little Home Depot tough sheds there.
Yeah.
Fit perfectly.
Yeah,
you can even probably
one for each
do
tenant.
like two of them, you know?
Right. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
I like this one a lot.
Yeah, the units have skylights too, to bring in some nice natural light.
Yeah, and the fact that this one doesn't have solar panels either, right?
No.
No, none of them do. None of them need it.
Yeah.
That's great too. You save some costs there.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
And this plant was actually growing on the wall that was here, the CMU wall here before, and so we were able to peel it off and put it back.
Oh,
so it's gonna
smart.
totally. It's theirs actually. It starts way back like near their garage, and it just grew over the years.
One way.
I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Privacy.
I didn't realize it was gonna.
Oh, I see how you guys
peel it
tied
off.
some of them on here.
Yeah, we were able to peel it off.
And whose idea was that?
That was mine.
That's smart. Great way to leverage things. If you don't understand SB 1211, then yeah, you kind of have to wait for people to kind of have
to work out the
process with the city. But if you know what you're doing, I mean, you can go from a fourplex to another four. I'm gonna check out one.
Yeah. So just to give you a little background on what she's talking about, SB 1211 is ordinance for multifamily. So this is a single family application, SB 9, single family residence, taking an R1 and turning it into 4 units.
Right.
Used to be impossible, now it's possible. But also, let's say you have a 1,200, 8 unit property, but you have a giant back area for parking or whatever. You could take that now and build 8 more units in the back.
Up to 8 detached, plus the 25% rule still exists. So you could do 8 detached plus another 2 to 4 of existing structure. That's how you really maximize it. Yeah.
That is game changer, because you could take an underperforming 8 unit that was built in the 50s.
We got a lot of those.
Yeah, tons of them. I mean, a lot of baby boomers are dying too. So as far as an investment strategy, if you were to buy these, even paying, right now is the best time to buy multifamily anyways, because it's in the dumps.
Right.
So if you're locking these up, even for market value, you are quite literally doubling the amount of units, all brand new units, detached, off in the back. Sometimes you have to take away parking from the tenants, but that's not a problem, because you can take parking away from people now, which is also something that's changed. I think it's up to like $100 relocation per month. So let's say you have a apartment building that has a back apartment building with the back parking. You could strip that parking away from the tenants and give them each $100, which will probably shake loose some of these bullshit tenants that have been there for 20 years paying nothing, and these baby boomers just didn't raise the rent on them for 20 years. And so you see it all the time. I see 2-3 bedrooms for $800 in areas where it should be $3,000,
I mean, I'm checking a 4 unit out tomorrow in Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
But it needs a lot of work. And, rents are not where they need to be, but that would be a great opportunity. You buy it at 1.4. I know that the resale value, there's one right now at 2.2, maybe 2, somewhere in that range. But you're looking at about $350,000 in rehab renovations, plus maybe another 4 units.
That open up.
That open up.
Yeah, and then when those open up, rehab them real quick, and then now you're making marking on those, and that's game changer. It's hard to pencil these deals like that though, because when you're working on a pro forma, you don't know.
The one thing I am working on right now, because I'm working on a list of potential SB 1211 8 units. There's not a whole lot of 8 units that have space to build another 8. So that's a reality.
That fit the criteria.
Right. There's not going to be a whole lot of it either. But on the smaller scale, there could be a duplex where you could easily fit another 2.
Yes.
Right?
All day long.
It's up to 8 units that you can double up. So 4 units, you can add another 4. If you have a 6 unit, you can add another 6.
The cool thing about it too is that they don't limit you like they used to. You have to get C of O before you can build a ADU.
Right.
You can do it all concurrently now,
which
is fantastic. So when you're submitting the plans for those units, you're submitting the plans for the ADUs as well. So it's
same
all
with SB 9. You're doing SB 9 plus ADU, and you're submitting both at the same time.
Yeah, it's really kind of the only play right now, because flips, money's too expensive. Everything's taking too long. Supply chain issues. I mean, material. I used to build for $85 a square foot.
Yeah. What is it now?
8 years ago. 8 years ago.
Yeah. And what is it?
We just went to a property right now down the street where I built that for $85 a square foot.
Right.
And now,
you're looking.
I mean, my costs are
$350.
Well, I mean, I'm charging north of 300, but I'm paying like in the twos,
Right.
So
Exactly.
Yeah, this is what it is. So when things like that change, you have to have creative angles. But
there's always strategies,
Yeah.
and you're always, there's always opportunity. You just have to pivot. And right now, the ADU play is the only play.
I mean, imagine buying a 4-unit, and then you're dropping 2 of these duplex versions in the back. Pop, pop.
Right.
I mean, you're looking at 90 days being done with that.
Half the time. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Half the time you save money. So
Yeah.
saving money and time.
The cost of these units are not that expensive either. I think the cost per square foot is like $320 or something. I haven't done the math for a while.
So you bought it for $700, and then how much?
We put 3 units. Our cost on the units, we sold my brother sold to the project, I think at 110 per 100.
That's
just
really
just
good.
over 100 each.
That's really good.
And then the installation and holding cost and
what are you thinking of the resale value?
The resale value on this, I think we're at around 190, yeah, like somewhere in that sort of area.
Okay.
That's what we're shooting for. But I mean, the rent roll makes sense. I mean, you got almost $12,000 in rent, here.
Yeah.
So like if you do,
because if an investor wants to do 2x,
I mean, let's just look at let's do a little exercise. Calculator. We have 2,500 times 3 plus 4,500. That's $12,000 exactly rent roll. Times 12 on a year, it's $144,000 a year.
Right.
Times, let's say 14 GRM, which I think is achievable still for a product like this. That's $2 million, almost on the nose.
You're right.
Valuation. That's at a decent cap rate that any investor would be happy with, especially if the rents are already tight, locked, seasoned. Then you're just selling a different product. But us trying to sell it vacant, you have to tell people, hey, you can rent this for $2,500. You're like, you sure? Because I mean, how about we say $2,000? I'm like, well, no, that fucks everything up. That doesn't. I can rent. Let me show you. It's
not the same.
It's not the same as
potential rents versus this is what it's renting for.
So even though I'm projecting ones that are achievable, you kind of have to put it out there.
Proof.
Otherwise, if they're kicking it to $2,000 per unit, it drops the value $200,000. By each unit being $200, $300, $400 less, it screws everything.
You can't give a range. It has to be.
Yeah. So that's why we're changing gears on this and refinancing and stuff. But we're not going to make a ton on this. But this was a sample of the first
of what
we can do and what we are doing and what sort of strategy we're putting forward. So.
Yeah, and showcasing this really gives.
We should have a meetup here.
We should
talk about it. Yeah. I don't know how to organize that, but if you want to help, let's do it.
I'll help.
Yeah, let's get it. We might do it, guys.
Middle housing.
I mean, I can get 20 of my buddies over here, developers, and let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's plan this together.
Maybe a part 2.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm so happy you came. This is really great.
I feel like I've been knowing you for a while.
I know. We speak the same language.
Yeah,
That's why.
That's why.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Stay tuned. We'll see you next weekend.
All right, guys. Remember, design, invest, repeat.